Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while since I've stuck a video out, sorry about that. I'm just going to try to get this one pushed out. I've actually been sitting on it for a little while. So we're just going to do a little bit of touring around here, and I may be silent for a while if there's nothing to say and just let you enjoy the view. So here we're in Juneau, Alaska. This is about March time frame, and this is the Gastineau channel. To the right in front of me now is Douglas Island. And now in front of me is Juneau downtown. This is a really beautiful place. This is the end of Sandy Beach near the Treadwell mine. You can see how these rivers during low tide kind of cut through the sand down there underneath. The Alaskan waters are really beautiful because there's not a lot of silt except for near the glacial areas or the river outlets. So you can see pretty much straight through all of these areas in the water. So here you can see the remnants of an old dock or something. This was all part of the Treadwell mine area. The area to the right is uninhabited, but it used to be inhabited, and it was kind of its own city when the mine existed in the early 1900s. So there's all kinds of old pieces of power plant and mines and different structures that are over here to the right. They've taken and made historical trail system, and you can walk around those. So here in Juneau, I've actually not been flying as much as I'd like. The weather certainly doesn't cooperate very much. The winter is pretty terrible. I was hoping to get some snowy flights and take off from the lake up at the Mendenhall Glacier, but this year it didn't really freeze over sturdy enough to be absolutely safe, so it didn't go over there and fly. So I basically had a long gap between, if you've watched my last videos, I had my lines catch on to my exhaust after a flight, so I had to replace those, and I waited for a while. Then I finally replaced them, and then I had bad weather for a while. So this is kind of the spring breakout flight. So here I've got to be really careful. There's a lot of air traffic that typically comes around this area. Straight ahead through that little gap down there, there's the airport, Juneau International Airport. This isn't close enough to the airport to be in the Class D airspace, but they do fly right through here, usually much higher. During the summer, typically, this area gets frequented by seaplanes quite a bit, so you really have to pay attention coming through here, because they'll be just at this spot, kind of cruising over to the Taku Glacier, which is far out to my right and around on the Taku River. You can see down there at the very end. The big mountain right there in front of me is Mount Jumbo on Douglas. There's a few trails that you can go up there. That mountain to my right is Mount Roberts. There's trails and a tramway that goes up there. Believe it or not, Juneau is one of the most frequented cruise ship areas as well in the United States, outside of Florida and a few other large areas. We get quite a bit of cruise ship traffic every summer. Roughly 30 ships come through every summer, and they cycle through on a weekly basis, somewhere between 3 and 5 a day. Down below we've got the Douglas Marina and the Treadwell Ice Rink and baseball fields to my direct left. If you're wondering what the temperature is, it's about 45 degrees, 50 degrees. I put on my warm weather stuff and I was actually kind of toasty and didn't even need to close my helmet there, as you can see the plastic shield's up. Again, I apologize, I haven't gotten any really good videos to you guys lately. I just haven't been flying as much. I've been trying to get boat stuff done and picked up a boat, and I've been working on some other boats. So it's been taking up my nice days. I need to really make an effort and try to get out before the summer ends our season. So as I was flying along these ways, I did clearing turns very frequently, just to make sure there were no planes sneaking up behind me. My favorite place to eat is right where my feet are, kind of. It's the Island Pub. Best pizzas in town, stone oven pizzas. They also have other places like a bar and like grill food, kind of like an Applebee's, but one of a kind place. So there's a lot of unpowered paragliding that happens in the city, and it usually happens right off to my left, on top of that mountain to the left. It's easy to get up there with the tramway, and we can buy kind of a year pass ticket to bring your paraglider up there, and you can go right off of a flat spot that's along the trail to the top. So not uncommon for people to see paragliders riding through here, but very uncommon to see powered paragliders. I believe I'm currently the only person in the city that's flying actively, although I think there are a couple other people who haven't been flying in a while. Just below me is Sandy Beach. There's some beautiful places to cook out and some recreation areas and parks and playgrounds. It's a very popular place to walk your dog. Lots of dog mines all along the beach there. When I first got out here to this area and I took off, sorry I didn't film the takeoff, but there's quite a lot of people since it was a sunny day in the springtime. But I made sure that no one was too close. But by the time I got everything set up and the motor tested, there was like a crowd of about 100 people kind of circling around above me just watching with phones out. So I'm sure they're expecting something interesting, or if not a good fail. And I was crossing my fingers that I'd make it look good on the first go round, which I did, but I didn't hit the button on the camera to prove it. My parents were actually visiting here. This is right before the COVID stuff hit big, and my kids and them are playing down there on the sandy beach. So I decided to come in here and go for a few low passes. So we'll come down a little bit. Directly ahead there's a pump house down there. It's one of the most favorite photo shoot places in Juneau. All the photo groups like to take pictures of it with sunsets and cruise ships behind it and things like that. It used to be part of the mine as well. I believe it pumped seawater up to the mine, but can't confirm that. Lots of beachgoers down there, just enjoying the beautiful day. Gotta be careful here in Juneau not to aggravate people with the noise. They like their quiet, beautiful vistas, so I'm always kind of wary that I'm gonna bother a bunch of folks. On a side note, I did change my fuel system and took the ball pump that I had out of it, the little check valve, like a boat check valve, and sealed it up and made it a one-piece line, and I'm definitely not getting my air bubbles in the line like I was before. Alright, well thanks for enjoying the flight with me today, and we'll see you guys later.